Hey, fifth graders. Today I'm going to go over the test review slides. This is the day one review, so go ahead and follow along with the slides you have, or just watch the video and you can take notes in your journal. Okay, for the first one we have a multi-step problem. Students at a very cool school are taking a field trip to a movie theater. The student ticket price is $11 and adult ticket prices are $21. If 125 students and 10 adults are going to the movies, about how much money would the school need to pay for the field trip? So the keywords you're looking for here are about, which tells you that you're rounding. And it's even here in the answer statement, about. So you're going to be rounding the price of the student tickets. $11 will round to $10, and $21 for the adults will round to $20. And we have 125 students and 10 adults going to the movies. So I'm just going to go ahead and round everything here. I think that what I'm looking for is an estimate, right, about. So I'm going to round, let me change the colors here. I'm also going to round the number of students, 125, and I'm going to round, 10 adults I don't have to round, it's already rounded for me as 10. So that would be the first thing I would do, is round all those numbers. Okay, and then once I've rounded, then I can do my steps. So you can see here I've rounded the number of adults multiplied by the cost of the adult ticket, and over here I have rounded the number of students multiplied by the cost of the student tickets. So once you get these two totals, then you can add them together and find out about how much they will need in dollars for the field trip. And the operations I use for this would be multiplication and addition. All right, next slide. So here we have another multi-step problem. The office building for the AT&T company has 17 floors and has 113 employees. 113 employees on each floor. Remember that each means one. So one floor has 113 employees, and there's 17 of them. If the managers wanted to buy one water bottle for every employee during a 5-day work week, how many water bottles would they need? Okay, so first I need to figure out how many employees there are. Okay, so what I've done here is I set up an equation. The number of employees, which will tell us how many water bottles we need, is 17 floors multiplied by 113, and that would tell me how many employees I have, and then of course I would take that product of that and multiply it by 5, because there are 5 work days, so they'll need one water bottle every day for 5 days for each employee. So that would involve the steps of multiplying and multiplying again. And remember, if you come across a word problem and you're not really sure which operation to use, you can always, let me move this over here, you can always use this strategy here, the get strategy. The G is for groups, the E is for each. That's good writing, Mr. B. And the T is for total. So there's a bunch of ways to look at this. One way is, if I have the groups and I have each and I'm looking for the total, then I multiply. And then going the other way, if I have the total and I'm looking for the groups or the each, I divide. You could have heard it that way, right? But the way I like to do this is I just focus on the total. That's where I put my money in the bank right here. Okay? And the way I look at it is, if I don't have the total, then I'm going to be multiplying. If I do have the total, then that means I'm going to be dividing, because I'm taking that total and looking for the groups or the each. And if I don't have the total, that means I'm going to be multiplying. Okay? So that's a strategy I use to figure out which operation I will be using for a word problem. So this is a pretty easy one. It's just showing that you can round. The San Antonio Spurs have 14 players seated on the bench and must share 378 cups of Gatorade during a game. How would you estimate how many each player should get? Remember, each means one. Well, it's not even telling me to solve it. It just wants me to round 14 players. Well, 14 here, is it closer to 10 or is it closer to 20? That's closer to 10. And for 378, is it closer to 300 or is it closer to 400? And that is closer to 400. So if I was going to be solving this, again, let's think about the strategy we talked about on the last slide. Get, right? So remember what I said, look for the total. Do I have the total? Yeah, I have the total of 378 cups of Gatorade. So that's the total number of Gatorade cups that I have. And I'm looking for how many each player would get, because it's asking me how much each player would get. So if I have the total, that means I'm dividing. So I would be dividing. Okay, this is a single step problem. The school has 17 students that need to be given masks to wear. If there are a total of 1,088 masks, how much will each student receive? Remember, each means one. And then the answer statement says each student would receive blank masks. Okay, let's move this over here so we can do a little bit of work. I'm going to use this strategy, get. And again, this is the strategy that helps me figure out if I'm multiplying or dividing. If I have the total, I'm going to be dividing. If I do not have the total, then I will be multiplying to find the total. So here it says I have a total of 1,088 masks. That means I do have a total. That means I will be dividing. So what am I dividing? I'm dividing 1,088 masks into 17. How many would each player get? If I have 17 students, that would be my groups, and a total of 1,088. I need to do some long division to figure this out. And because it's long division, I will help you do this one. Some of the slides I'll let you figure out on your own, but this one I will help you since it's long division. Okay, so I have the number 17 here. 17, how many groups of 17 are in 1? 0. How many groups of 17 are in 10? 0. How many groups of 17 are in 108? Well, this is where I'll do my guess and check. And like I said, I love to start with 5 because it's in the middle, and I'm trying to get as close to 108 without going over. So 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So I could probably get closer than that. Let's try 6. 17 times 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. Much better. That's 102. That's pretty close. So we're going to go with 6 here. And we said 6 times 17 is 102. So now I'm going to subtract that. 8 minus 2 is 6. Then 0 and 0. The next step is to bring down the 8. How many groups of 17 are in 68? Well, I did 5, and 5 was too much. It was 85. So let's try 4. 17 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Perfect. 6 times 17 is 68. And I subtract, and I'm no remainder, obviously, because I'm dealing with an equal amount. So I have 64. So each student would receive 64 masks. Perfect. This is another single-step problem. The Pokemon cards come in packs of 16. If I buy 146 packs, how many Pokemon cards will I have in all? Okay, as soon as I see this, will I have in all? And then the answer statement, I would have blank Pokemon cards. Well, I'm looking for a total. Remember our strategy. I'm looking for a total. So if I don't have the total, that means I'm multiplying. So I would be multiplying 146 times 16. I think this is one we can do pretty quick together. So 3 by 2, 146 times 16. And we're just doing our partial products here. 6 times 6, we started in the ones place, is 36. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3, 27. And then 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And don't forget, now that we're done with the ones place, the ones place here needs to be accounted for. So here comes Bob coming to work to hold that spot. And now we're dealing with the tens place. That's why our first digit's going to go in the tens place here. 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 4 is 4, and 1 times 1 is 1. Add our two partial products together. We have 6 there. 7 plus 6 is 13. And then 8, 9, and 4 is 13 as well. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So the answer would be, I would have 2,336 Pokemon cards. That's a lot of Pokemon cards. Okay, guys, feel free to watch this as much as you want to. Try to solve them on your own. These are problems involving the same skills and steps that you'll see in the test on Friday. Bye-bye. Good luck.